Oh yeah.
If I'm hitting this golf, like if I'm trying to hit that really low spinner like Rory off of this lie with a wide open face.
Sure. Okay, we're making good contact. Let's go into the next part. We're trying to hit the ball, not just with good contact, but like a real specific distance. Driver, we're just, you know, trying to hit max straight as far as possible. Yeah. Here, you know, as far as possible would be very bad. So it has to go. So what do you like to do? We've heard about clock system, just straight up feel.
Yeah, so I'm kind of in a little bit of a feel pattern. The clock system is fine for me. If I'm hitting to that pin or say your ball that you hit there, I'm very much a visual where I'm kind of using my one hand to kind of see it until I get to about 40 yards.
Is this what you're doing in your pre-shot?
In my pre-shot routine, yeah, I'm kind of trying to, yeah, and these are all simple, basic lies, right? And we have to remember the shot's dictated first off the lie, right? We have to assess lie. Is it wet? Is it firm? Is it in the rough? So we're gonna assume that that's all taken care of.
Sure.
Once that's done, for me, once I'm inside of 30 yards, I'm very much so a feel player. I'm using my right arm to kind of feel, okay, how much do I take that back to deliver that type of shot? And then I'll just kind of get in there and react. That's kind of my feel.
Oh yeah.
I've been in a spot where I have been a positions person. I don't really do clock system. I kind of use body parts. I go, okay, right hand to hip high, or to belly button high, or to pec high, and that'll be my 40-50 shots, really. But inside of these 30-yarders, I try to use my vision as much as I can, and I'm not gonna take much time over the golf ball. I'm gonna be staring a lot at the golf ball, simulating what I'm trying to do. If I'm going to this orange one, trying to feel what I'm trying to do, use most of my time looking at the target, get in there, one long look, pull the trigger. And that's basically what I'll do over and over and over. But I'm trying to use the power of my eyes and my athleticism. That's me. Everybody's got to test this theory a little bit.
Yeah, normally people go the other way where they spend a lot of time looking at the ball and just glancing at the target.
Correct.
Whereas you're 90% of your sight's out here.
Visual, yep.
And then you're here. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about then lofting it too.
Yep.
So what I've noticed the thing now is that, all right, if this is a 60-degree wedge, which it is, and I stand on it like that, altogether, like I guess if you hit it normal, it should go about that high or something.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing a lot of guys being really creative. The famous shot that just came on TV, I think I talked about earlier in the video, Rory McIlroy has the face this far open, and he hits it about nose high, comes out low and checks. So guys nowadays aren't really doing the Runyon thing or stuff like that where they're using like 7-iron to here and letting it roll. They're using like 60-degree for about 80% of the shots, and then
I'd argue almost more. These guys are using 60 almost any chance that they can, unless they have a tier they have to run it up, or maybe fly it a little bit farther, skip it a little bit more.
So how are you adjusting this?
Yeah, so I'd say the hardest shot, especially on tour, is the high lofted spinner, because the grass is just so tight. So it really is hard to hit one that's really, really high and spinning a lot, just because of friction. These guys have a new wedge. Some guys replace them every week. Some guys replace them every month to 6 weeks. But friction, if I'm hitting this golf, like if I'm trying to hit that really low spinner like Rory off of this lie with a wide open face,
Let's start with a really difficult one.
I don't think that one would be possible right now. On this lie with a little bit of moisture and it's not firm underneath, I mean, I could probably hit it mid-flight, but it'll probably come out with like half of his amount of spin. So for him, I think he's playing it a little bit more middle. It's pretty much the same technique where he's going to take a little bit of a hinged backswing, still kind of in front of him, but you'll see them really dropping this on the back of the ball.
So he's hitting down on the ball,
super down on it.
The handle's going up.
And handle's actually, and it's going to be pretty de-lofted forward, while that has a slight up with a chest turn. So let's see if I can get enough friction on this. That one was pretty good.
Oh yeah.
And I'm gonna take a divot here just because it's softer, but I didn't catch it before, right? That was definitely ball first, then divot. But that had, you know, it's about a 20-yard shot. It had about 5,000 RPMs of spin, I would guess, which is pretty good for 20 yards, especially off of this stuff. We were just talking about how on tour, like we have such tight fairways and firm, so you can smack down on it as hard as you want.
So you can take the bounce and almost like you're on a driving range mat. And
oh yeah,
like, boom, into the ground.
And it's not sticking in there, right? It's still kind of sliding through. You can move it crazy back to do it on those lies. This one's gonna probably dig a little bit, but if I do it from here, wide open, it's gonna go down, but it's got a lot of spin.
Yeah. How much of that, if you come down real close, Mike, to the ball, so how much of it too, because my friend was saying this, how much of it is that they're getting the bounce down so low that it's actually connecting with the club here and not so much
I think
the masses in the sweet spot?
I think you can see my pitch marks there. Those are pretty middle. I mean, down here in the first 3 grooves or 4 grooves, it's going to spin more. It's going to come out lower and spin more. Up here, typically, the grass and the stuff is riding up, so it's going to come out like a knuckle poofer.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so in general, though, not for this kind of fancy shot, but in general, it's for varying. So we talked about distance is kind of like you're doing it with your eyes and controlling your hinge. But controlling the trajectory, what are you usually doing?
First things first, I mean, deciding when to hit it, right? We got to be able to have that knowledge of, okay, why would I hit that really high one? Well, and this is something I think I see a lot with college players and even high school players. They want to hit the high, really cute one. And it's like, hey, let's go with the easiest one first. Okay. If that's not an option, go to the next easiest one. If that's not an option, then it's okay, last ditch effort. Let's hit the really high one. So if we had to, we'll call it a short-sided pin. We'll just say that I've got to fly it like 15 yards. For me, I always kind of like the handle or the butt of the club pointed to my belt buckle. I step my right foot away, so I have it forward. I'm still going to lean left and continually lean left, but as I do this, I'm going to kind of shallow out my arc just a little bit so I can still get my ball or handle forward. So I want to try to
even in this one that you're trying to hit like very high, you're not letting your head fall to the right?
Never, yeah. That just promotes one of those that slide under and it goes like a foot.
Just so I can see that, hit one, and I'm just going to put this, and you're saying that you would not hit my shaft here?
No, probably not.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so and that's just because I don't want to chunk it.
Because almost always you see people when they really want to get it up. Yeah.
Great one to blade, right? And we see it a lot, right? Yeah. And unless I'm really on a slope, I'll let it kind of go back because I'm not going to blade that one, right? Or if it's teed up a little bit. But for most situations, and this is when I really learned this, I was just watching Jordan Spieth. His head always moves left, and I was really intrigued by that because he can hit the flops better than anybody, right? Yeah. And that's just power of emulation, just picking somebody that's really good. And that was really shocking to me because he has very much strong left hand forward and still moving left. And
the ball's going really high, but he never fell backwards.
Never fell backwards.
Okay, we're going to do the mid and the low one next. We'll let these guys play through. Perfect. All right, BJ, so we get it in a real good, concise way for the viewers of Be Better Golf. Yep. Let's do a low, medium, and high.
Perfect.
But all to that same pin.
Perfect.
That blue pin. So that is about, how many yards is that about?
About 15 to 20, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's about right.
So what are you doing?
So low one, we're gonna go still same distance for the chip shot, about a club width. Ball is gonna be a little bit more back, weight's gonna be a little bit more right.
So your heels are like half a club, but
turn about a club. Sideways would be about, exactly. Heels are about half a club, that's right. Ball position will be a little bit back. I'll get a little closer to it. It's gonna feel a little bit of maybe a little draw for this one, just a little bit low.
Oh yeah, really good.
Man, that breaks a lot. Okay.
Perfect distance.
So medium, I'm gonna play it pretty much middle. This one I like to just let it throw just a little bit more on the way down.
Yeah, that was sexy. Now, is the face set at impact at address more open on the
medium? Yeah. So if I'm gonna feel a low one, I'm gonna have it very square. Yeah. And for me, I like to kind of feel the toe, let it kind of roll just a touch. That'll be my roll, like one check. Yeah. Yeah. It'll kind of check. It'll be a little bit of a draw spin.
And when you if you had done kind of fillet the face, it would have slid, but. Yep. But when you do this with the toe, it kind of gives a little more compression for spin.
100%. Okay. Yep. Absolutely. Cool. It still kind of checks, but it doesn't have the one that lands really fast, right? Where the one that goes 1, 2, stop. It kind of lets it tumble. And then the medium flight one, I have it just a touch open, let it feel like I'm letting the toe stay on the right side of the heel.
Okay.
That's just a mid-flight one. And then the higher one will be forward, a little wider with the right foot, a little bit more open with the face. That's got a lot of spin. Oh, wasn't that high, but that had more spin.
Yeah. All right, guys, so you can see more about BJ. Follow him. I think the best place to connect with BJ is on Instagram. So his Instagram is listed right here. He's also teaching lessons in a lot of different places in Orange County, mostly at No Bogeys Golf in Irvine, which is a really cool indoor place. And then he because he did legendary things in some courses, he gets some legendary access. So that's really good. So connect with him, and you'll see more from him on this channel. So be sure to subscribe. See you later. Bye.
Thanks, Brandon.
Way to go.
A lot of fun.